Hey, I want to tell you about Rabbit Hole. I've been sipping this sauce for quite a long time now, and this Rabbit Hole Derringer is what they want me to tell you about because it is the good juice. A lot of people don't know about it. They know their original expressions like the Cave Hill, but I'm telling you, this is straight bourbon finished in PX sherry casks, my good friend. What makes Rabbit Hole special is that they view the bourbon as an artistic expression. Each of their original works of bourbon are made from one-of-a-kind mash bill recipes using specially malted grains. Every Rabbit Hole expression is aged in both charred and toasted barrels, including Derringer. This one here, Rabbit Hole's award-winning finished bourbon. For this expression, Rabbit Hole has taken their fine wheated bourbon and aged it again in Pedro Jimenez sherry casks, my friends, from España, from Spain. Aromas of caramel and cherry will lure you in before flavors of dry fruit, sweet wine are going to have you falling in love. Derringer's perfectly sweet taste profile is the perfect sip to please both new drinkers and whiskey purists alike. This award-winning spirit scored a perfect 100 points at the Proof Awards, won double gold at the prestigious San Francisco Spirits Awards, and was named one of the 25 best bourbons of the 21st century by Rob Report. I got to tell you, this stuff is great. I've been loving Rabbit Hole for a very long time. We drink a bunch of this stuff on this show, and I really love it. Go grab a bottle for yourself. Find a bottle near you at rabbitholedistillery.com, or you can go to rabbitholedistillery.com/drizzly to get an order there and get $5 off your first order with promo code RABBIT. Go grab some Rabbit Hole today. What up, Whiskey Ginger fans? Welcome back to the show. If it's your first time joining the show, welcome to the show. Like it, subscribe it, leave a comment down below for the algorithm. We got a good one today. It's the Broken Lizard Boys. Them Broke Lizard Boys, they got a new movie out. Please go see it, okay? Get on the internet and go watch their movie, or I'm going to come yell at you. They are the proprietors, inventors, and geniuses, of course, behind Beerfest and Super Troopers. And they got a good one out for you right now called Quasi. See it, love it. Also, come see me. I'm on the road. I'm on the road with Bobby Lee. Me and Booby are on the road doing our thing, friends. Badfriendspod.com. Badfriendspod.com for tickets. Badfriendspod.com. Come see us in your city. We're coming through. We're adding dates. Badfriendspod.com. Enough rambling from me. Let's go to the episode.
In here, we pour whiskey, 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 whiskey.
You were that creature in the ginger beard.
Sturdy and ginger.
Like vampires, the ginger gene is a curse.
Gingers are beautiful.
You owe me $5 for the whiskey and $75 for the horse.
Gingers? Oh, hell no.
This whiskey is excellent.
Ginger. I like gingers.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Whiskey Ginger. My guests today are some of the favorite people on earth. My favorite people on earth. I say that for all my guests, but I mean it once again today. It's the Broken Lizard Boys. And you know what's really broken is Jay's car because Kevin hit it in the parking lot.
I think you're overstating.
Well, you know what?
We
I
all
really
watched
do.
you hit his car in the parking lot.
I turned my tire and the rubber of the tire rubbed against his car.
And yet you felt compelled to come out to his car and try to rub off the
because
scar.
I don't know if he's an asshole about it.
What did you say to me?
He was pissed.
What did you say to me right before you hit my car?
I said, I got it, right? I said, it's cool.
I got it. I have sensors.
Yeah.
I have sensors.
Not in the tires, though.
But you brag about how you have that car with like the 360-degree fucking camera angle.
Yeah,
and
it's great, man.
Where was it now?
It was. It's the nothing touched but the rubber of the tire.
You need a few more degrees, pal, because you hit my car.
The only reason you're still standing is because he's your friend. If you dinged somebody else, like Andres, Spanish guy, if you dinged his car the way you did his in the parking lot, he'd fucking murder you.
I guess he would, but that's why we're friends. Because if you did it to me, I'd be like, don't worry about it.
You know how cool? I didn't say you don't worry about it. I didn't even look at it.
Whoa, big
I just
flex.
walked.
You know what he did? I don't know if you saw this. When you were down there rubbing the thing, he threw a $100 bill right at your fucking feet.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's peeled one off and threw it. Here, take that.
Yeah, fine.
For the
He
trouble.
was more offended. He said, what just hit me? A Traverse? He was bummed about that. Yeah, that's what it was.
It's a fucking Chevy, bro. I drive a Chevy.
Hot Tesla guy, dude. He was.
I know.
Those are fancy, man. Fancy cars. Boys, thank you so much for coming. And cheers to everybody in the room. Cheers to you. Cheers. Cheers to the boy in the air.
Cheers.
Although, sadly, Jay is not drinking with us. He's drinking alone on his island of vodka and LaCroix.
You know what else?
He's afraid of bourbon.
You know what else is sad? You didn't have any ice.
No, I don't. You know why I don't have ice? Because men drink whiskey and bourbon neat, and we usually, so we do reserve ice sometimes when little boys come and have little vodka sodies.
You make an ice reservation. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah,
you reserve it.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I'm racist against ice.
That story doesn't work.
I'm an ist against ice. No, we don't like ice. We don't like ice over here.
Really?
But also,
Okay.
this bottle of vodka, which by the way is yours to take home.
Really?
Yeah, well, because we don't really drink vodka.
I'll drink it very quickly.
You can have it. I have a whole box.
I love this vodka.
You can have all of it.
He's
You can have
hugging
all of it.
He's hugging
love
the
it.
bottle. Jesus.
The boys are here, and thank you. Before we go into too much tree diatribes of nonsense, because I can feel it coming with all of us, I want to say to you guys, we've met for the first time. I've been a fan of yours for a long time, which is kind of surreal to have you on the show, knowing you guys only through your films, appreciating what you've done. So much respect to you. You're all very funny and talented, except for one of you, and you'll figure out who it is.
Okay.
But I really do think you guys have made some phenomenal shit.
Thank you.
We'll talk about what you're making now and what's going to come out in a little bit. But I just want to get that out of the way. Great stuff. You guys are so funny.
Thank you.
So good. So talented.
And I was sucking his dick before we started going on here.
Yeah, we're all doing it.
Yeah,
it's part of the game.
How much I like Santino.
He was mine.
Santino?
Yeah.
When you and Andres were
Santino rabbit
speaking
hole.
Spanish to each other.
Yeah.
Fanish. I call it Fanish when you're like.
Fanboying Spanish?
Well, yeah, fanboy Spanish. It's like Spanish is just like, oh, sí, when he does that's Spanish.
I said to him, Andres, ¿de dónde eres tú? Spain. ¿Y tú? Like, mi papá es de Argentina. Oh, hablas, sí.
Yeah,
Yo
Spanish.
hablo.
Spanish. Oh, it's fan Spanish. Yeah, they're excitable. That's all it is. It's real excited. I'm glad you made a connection with the man.
Good for you.
I know. Listen, bro, let me ask you a question. Is this like an argumentative podcast? Because it feels like that.
Well, I'm an argumentative guy.
Because you're redheaded.
Yeah, that's
you're
right.
redheaded.
Why?
It's embedded in
And a bourbon guy.
soul.
Redheaded bourbon guy. You know what that is?
Yeah.
That's a fight waiting to happen.
You know what? Let's start this over. Let's start this in a way that you want it to be.
St. Patrick's Day. Did you get into a fight?
No, man, I'm too old. That's not. I'm very anti St. Patrick's Day.
Him too.
Me too.
Me too.
Me too.
Yeah, because it's bullshit.
It's amateur hour.
First of all, you do know St. Patrick was Roman. He was Roman Catholic. He was a fucking Italian guy. He wasn't even Irish, which is my first biggest offense about the whole thing.
That's incredible.
But aren't you also Italian?
Yeah, but then why is St. Patrick celebrating a guy who wasn't a saint of Ireland? That didn't never made sense to me. You do any research, you find out. What's the old wives' tale that you know about St. Patrick? What did he do in Ireland?
He drove the prostitutes out of Ireland.
Drove the prostitutes out. That's right.
I thought it was the snakes.
Same thing, dude. Read into it a little bit, dude.
It's a metaphor, bro.
Both take your wallet and they slither away.
Okay.
Yeah, they drove the snakes out of Ireland. That's the wives' tale you've heard, right?
Yeah.
Of St.
Yeah.
Patrick.
Right.
In the history of the island of Ireland, there has never, ever been a recorded snake. There are no snakes on the island. It does not exist.
Isn't that
why, though?
No, my friend. It's
gone.
because they don't
Patrick
live. They don't live there.
Oh.
Snakes were in reference to Protestant, the Protestant religion. They were the Catholics were to drive the Protestant religion out of Ireland. So through massacre,
Get the fuck out of here.
that's what it was.
And don't come back.
Don't you come back?
And don't come back.
Also, this is an island laced with the worst luck on earth of people that 1 million died because potatoes caught, AIDS. It was like, this is not, let's not celebrate this place.
Did they not have 4-leaf clovers at that time?
Also, another crazy anomaly. It's 3-leaf clovers. 4 happens like 1 in every 8,000.
That's the point, though, isn't it?
No, it's not good. It's
Funny.
a bad thing. It's a genetic
found a
mutation,
lot.
just like redheads. Don't get me started.
And by the way, Andrew, it's potatoes. Not potatoes. It's potatoes.
It's potatoes.
Maybe where you're from, it's potatoes.
I'm from New York City. Potatoes.
Potatoes.
Yeah, we're having some potatoes.
Potatoes.
Yeah.
Bacon, egg, cheese.
Yeah.
Where in New York are you from?
From Manhattan. New York
You're a
City.
city kid.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He's from the Tony Upper East Side.
Is this a fancy city boy
Oh,
we've
yeah.
got in our presence?
right.
I like it.
Went to a private school too.
Hey, yo! All you kids met at college, yes?
At Colgate?
Yeah,
Colgate
University.
And what was the name of the fraternity?
Beta Theta Pi.
Now do this chant. You guys ought to have some sort of... do the thing. Do the thing.
We were actually we were known as a singing fraternity. Like
Yeah.
when we pledged, they gave us a songbook.
Shut up. Are you being serious?
I'm totally serious.
We know a whole bunch of songs.
Yeah.
But the greatest thing about that place, the songs of that place, was there was a limerick competition, and so we would have this like insulting limerick competition, which was associated with a night called Beef and Wine.
Beef and Blow.
Which was nicknamed Beef and Blow because you were going to blow eventually. And you did a limerick about a guy, like, I know a guy whose name is Kevin.
Right.
And then you just rip him.
Well, give it to me.
When I fuck his mom, she is in heaven.
Okay, good.
And then he has to drink and blow. And then he comes back at you and on and on.
Right, but then at some point...
I was always really bad at it. I was always the guy blowing. I was the guy puking.
Well, then what happens is you do the blow dance. Somebody's like, do you want to see him blow? And the whole house goes, yes, we want to see him blow. See him blow. See him blow.
See him blow.
Whoa.
Oh, this is
And then
great.
everyone dances in a circle while he just chugs until he.
So this was a
blows.
gay fraternity. You guys were in a little cute.
They all are.
Yeah, I know that's true.
They all are.
You guys drink.
Yeah, we did that.
Let's see who falls asleep first and who wakes up with who. I never did fraternity life, and you know what? I was jealous, but they wouldn't let me in. Nobody wanted me.
Did you try?
Not really.
What school?
I have Arizona State University,
Okay.
baby, the greatest, the Harvard
That's the
of the
one
West.
in Tempe, or is that the one in
Tempe. Yeah, Tempe. The other
Okay.
one is in Mexico. It doesn't count.
That's right. The other one's really hot.
U of A is trash.
Yeah, okay.
No, but I didn't join only because I had a bunch of friends that were in fraternities, and I learned the process freshman year of what I had to go through Rush and all
Right.
that. And I'm such an anti-authority, hard-headed asshole that I was like, I'm not fucking letting somebody my own age boss me. I get bossed around by adults, not a guy who's a year older than me. So I just never could buckle down and do it. But the fun that they had that I saw sometimes made me very jealous. I was very jealous.
It was gobs of fun.
It was gobs, heaps.
Yeah.
Oodles of fun.
Loved
And you
it.
could just make fun of those guys that try to boss you around. I mean, you know.
Yeah, no, but I didn't
shit
want to.
happens.
I just didn't want the thing of like the okay, pledge, eat the
Sure.
thing and a thing, because I would have.
Sure.
I'd have gotten into a fight, and then it'd been like, kick this guy out. He's
Right, but those guys are the idiots.
Right.
Like everyone makes fun of those guys. Those are the
Right.
guys who got the shit kicked out of them.
See, I should have done it.
But we also had the beta sweetheart thing, which is like if you showed up with a new girlfriend,
Yeah.
they would all the brothers would get around you and go, and then you'd have to get down on a fucking knee and be like, wouldn't you like to be a beta sweetheart?
It was terrible because it was often with somebody you maybe hooked up with once, and you're like, "Oh no, this is gonna be the last night. Now I got to do this damn thing."
That's good though.
And
That makes you think about your life decisions,
Bunch of
doesn't
guys,
it?
in blazers.
Right.
You sing,
And then the second you're done, they're like, do we want to see him blow? And the whole house goes, yes, we want to see him blow. See him blow. And then it's chug motherfucker, chug motherfucker.
That's
chug
great.
motherfucker.
See that I miss this. I miss those moments.
but it's also where we met, you know.
Well, that's
and
the
now
beauty.
we've worked together for 30 years, so it's, you know.
And you guys have two other people that you work with.
Yeah.
But you refuse to put them on, in with you guys.
Yeah,
they're
they're
not,
second tier.
They're not camera friendly.
Right. Those are B-level, C-level guys.
Yeah, they don't come to Whiskey Ginger.
Yeah, no
They're
chance.
some-
I was
they're
just gonna
something
say,
else. They're
yeah.
something else.
You could put them in the lobby. We'd let them
Sure,
wait.
sure,
Yeah,
sure,
we'd let them wait outside. But all you guys met at school, and then that was the impetus for you guys to form Broken Lizard. But then, as time has gone on, as I followed you guys from a distance through the window, not all of you guys will do stand up, but you guys all do perform together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we did, a couple years back, you know, Lemmy and I had never really done a lot of stand up before, and Jay
Because
came
they
from
were
a background.
afraid.
Yeah, we were totally
They
afraid.
were
Terrified.
scared, is what we said. They're
Totally.
scared.
And you know, scared.
scared.
That's
But
what
you
we
really
say.
were
It's for you
scared.
guys. Yeah.
That's what we say.
If I,
Yeah, I
scared,
mean, there's also wasn't the motivation, you know. We weren't
Yeah.
like we didn't do it, you know. And then we went on tour together. We did a live tour 10 years ago, whatever it was, and started doing it, and then loved it.
Yeah.
And then Lemmy and I turned around for about 10 years, right?
Yeah.
We toured about for 10 years. and
3
did stand-up.
specials.
Yeah.
And what about now, though? You keep plugging away, right?
Well, but because we've had this TV show for the last 5 years now.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years.
Tacoma FD.
Tacoma
Tacoma
FD.
FD.
I know it
Yeah.
very well.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like I know somebody that's on the show. I feel like I have a friend that's
You
on
probably
the show.
do. I mean, we've got a
You've got so many people on the show. I
people
feel like
come
there's
through. Yeah.
Eugene Cordero.
Eugene Cordero. Who
know,
else? Who
yeah.
else would I may know that's on that show?
We've had Sasso on the show.
Well, we had Sass on the
Fucking
show.
love Will.
Whitney. We talked about Whitney. She was
yeah,
on the show.
Yeah, yeah, and that was
No,
a bad
but
episode.
on the show,
Yeah.
like
I haven't
in
seen
the
it, but I
cast.
just,
Good.
I
Yeah,
just
sure.
assume.
It's good. It's good.
Sass is the man, though. Sasso is probably one of the. I think he's genuinely one of the most underrated comedic actors I've ever met in my entire career.
Like the guy is so talented. Like we did a podcast with him, and you would like give him a name of a person, and he would never have done the imitation before.
He would do
But
it.
he would work it out. Like he's okay. So he's kind of like, and all of a sudden, boom, he's doing the imitation.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a magician.
It's just shocking.
I've been trying to do Morgan Freeman for a long time.
Let's hear it.
Now, what Andy didn't realize was. That's it.
No. That's, you got to keep going. What did Andy not realize?
Now, what Andy didn't realize was that the warden needed to have his taxes done.
Pretty good.
I have a Morgan Freeman too.
Let's hear it.
This one's from 7. Okay, and
yeah.
and there's the gurney's going by with a dead body, and he goes, "So many corpses roll away unavenged."
You want to follow that up, Ev? I feel like you have to.
I can't.
Let's give it a whirl.
I don't
Let's
know.
get canceled. Welcome back to
can't
Let's
do it.
Get
I've never heard that
Canceled.
before. I've never heard that before.
That's very
That's really
good.
good. But like that's one of the ones that Sasso did. He's like, I've never done Morgan Fairchild. I've never done Morgan Fairchild before. Morgan Freeman, and he did it right. Boom.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Well,
Killed it.
and he worked it out
Yeah.
in real time. He's like, I think Morgan Freeman, he's somewhere down here in his chest, and his lips are close to his mouth. And then all of a sudden you're like, that's fucking Morgan Freeman.
Yeah. He's a magician, and he's one of those guys that I don't want to talk about anymore because this is way too much.
I have a Morgan Freeman thing.
Give it to me.
Josh, a friend of mine, white guy, comic.
Gotta lay in the white guy part, don't you?
Well, there's a reason.
Sneak it in.
There's a reason, right? Because he does the best Morgan Freeman, and Morgan Freeman heard him doing himself in a comedy routine, and he called him up. He had his agent call him up and had him come meet him, and he goes, "You're going to do my ADR from now on."
Seriously?
And so for the past, it might be 15 years, this white dude goes into the ADR booth and records all of Morgan Freeman's replacement lines. He has, on films that Morgan Freeman has been nominated or even won an Oscar, my friend Josh has some lines.
But does Josh get a little kickback? Does he get a piece of the Oscar?
Yeah, he gets a one-time payment.
Oh, man. Poor Josh.
Resids? No resids?
No resids?
No resids. No
resids?
No.
Damn, bro.
No.
I don't want to talk about money, but let's talk about it a little bit.
Let's do it.
You guys got a bunch of it.
You gave me such a light pour. Do you know? You gave me a light pour.
Wow. You want me to give you a big daddy one?
Andres will get it, right?
No,
Fancy, get over
he's
here.
A producer. I mean,
No. He knows what he's doing.
He's a high-end guy. He's above the line. This guy. You're getting you.
It's the
pour an entire cup of this. Pour all of it into there.
No, don't
he
do
wants
that.
what he wants, and he gets what he wants.
No, just a
keep
little
going.
bit.
There you go. That's good.
That's good.
Thank you, Fancy.
Oh my God.
It's also
Look
like an
out.
$800 pour. That's good. I like that.
Good. Whoa.
I need to
Thank
know
you,
this
sponsors.
for my own benefit of mine, right? Like you guys are compared with, and look, we don't need to live in the past, but we have to. Your Super Troopers is compared to the same kind of beautiful cult, like lightning in a bottle thing that my buddies from Always Sunny did, right? That it was like they created this amazing pilot, they shot it for almost nothing, and then it exploded. You guys, similar story of Super Troopers. I want to know, did you guys make that money back, or did the distributors make all that money back? Did you guys ever make any money on that?
We made some money, but we had a guy who was an investor.
That made most of the money.
And when everyone bailed on us, he was the guy who's there for us.
Yeah.
And he said, "I'll write the check for this movie." And he got a lot of the money.
He's still
he got most of the money.
Yeah.
Yes, but
And he's a great guy.
that movie is still making a lot of money
Tons.
every year.
Yeah.
And so we get
'Cause
money
it's a
every
cult
year
classic.
from that
Yeah.
movie. And the studio, God bless their hearts, they made so much money they couldn't hide it. And so, because it was made for $1 million, it was sold for $3.25. It made 20 in the theaters, and
I thought it said 28 in the theaters.
well, there's
Maybe
worldwide too.
Yeah.
And then it made north of 100 on video. And so they were like,
So the car accident in the parking lot didn't really matter.
Nah,
That's what
doesn't
you're trying to
matter.
say.
I got 10 of those. I got 10 of those. And then after years, we were like, any more money there? They're like, no, we're feeling like that's all the money. And I'm like, okay, so we'll audit you. And we audited them, and they're like, hey, we found another 10 million here.
Yeah, it was in the back.
Yeah.
We
didn't know. We
You know
didn't know.
what? Marcus, who cleans up, threw it in the back.
Yeah, it was
we
with
had no
all
idea it was right there.
all the fake mustaches and the sunglasses. There it was, just sitting there.
The reason I say that, because money is gaudy, but I wanted to bring it up because I had a conversation. The irony of this is staggering. When I talked about having you guys on the show, I was with Pete Farrelly shooting this movie, and Pete and I talked about the sensation of that movie.
Yeah.
And about how that was like done for such a small budget, and it was so successful, and it proved that it wasn't all the bullshit monetary look at the it was about how good the content was. And we said, what other movies lie in this category that do that? And we got into this diatribe of like, did anybody make money off of that? And one of the biggest ones, the biggest sad stories of all time, was Blair Witch Project, where it made so much money. And do you know, literally none of those actors made any money. Literally none of those actors. They made day rates, and they never saw another fucking dime. And almost everyone on that film that was an actor on it or whatever did not work again.
Yeah.
And if
They're
they
supposed
did,
to spin that into that. You're supposed to spin it into
Dude,
more. And
so
work,
it was so sad. But like we looked it up, and the movie itself, it was one of the highest grossing under budget horror movies of all time.
Yeah.
And I was like, they had to give some of those guys something. And so we started doing research together, and sure enough, all of them got fucking nothing. I think the highest paid person was like a couple grand, maybe, or something like that. And so we just went on this whole thing about how the industry does this great, disgusting trick of being like, hey, but there's more to come. We'll see what happens, huh? You stick around, kid. You know.
And the lucky thing is we were the filmmakers, right?
Right.
So
That's
those
what's
guys
lucky.
weren't.
Right.
So we were kind of
The other guys who had the same situation as us is Napoleon Dynamite.
I've heard this. I've heard this
as
well.
They took them to court too, and the case was so good that they settled.
Right, because they didn't have it. Because it was such a pop. It wasn't like a questionable. Like, wow, what's the scale? That film was massive.
Oh,
everybody
massive.
fucking. I mean,
it
was cultural.
There's a statue of Napoleon Dynamite outside of their offices.
Right.
In the Fox lot.
Right.
That's right. They were like, "Whoa,
should we take the statue down before the court case?" I feel like that's a good idea. That was when they were taking down statues of racists and bigots. They were like, "We should also take down Napoleon
The
just in
bronze
case."
Napoleon Dynamite statue.
But it is such a true thing in our business that I think more light needs to be shed. As a comedian and a performer, the one thing we joke about is how we get taken. Our whole careers, we get fucked. We got taken our whole lives. We worked for no money, and most of the time, you were just happy to be there. Yeah. And not like I'm saying like, we deserve everything. But as you get older, you go, holy shit, are you guys taking all this fucking money and giving us none of it? And you started to learn it as you get older, and I think the business is getting more exposed, which kind of a good thing. That like the curtains being pulled by even the audience members are like, that's bullshit.
I suppose it is, but the streamers have taken a position of like, we can't share our data with you of how many people. And you're like, why not? And they're like,
we don't have to.
Right.
Yeah. No, I think that's flipping too. I think all that shit is changing. But the more that you stay in this independent lane that you guys started in a little bit, where you reserve your right to write it and make it, well, you still then you own enough of it.
That's the way to control things.
And so when we went back into Super Troopers 2, we controlled some of it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And we raised the money ourselves, which allowed us to control some of it.
Well, you guys, did the studio offer to give you guys money up front? And you guys were like, we're going to raise it.
No, they weren't going to make the movie at all. Make it.
Fucking
and they said, we'll allow you to make it, but you have to raise this much money to shoot it, and you have to raise this much money to advertise it. Funny. But then in that way, they became ultimately. This is at the beginning of the deal. They became the bottom line. Like the money was going to flow through us, and we would pay them. But then that changed.
But we crowdfunded a big chunk of that movie, so we went right to the fans.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember.
And then so when that happened, we raised whatever it was, $4 million in like 24 hours. Then the studio came back and said,
"We'll do the advertising.
We'll come in with you."
God,
as
so
partners.
funny how they do that, right? Well, it does look good. You know what? It does look good. It sounds like every time I take a call from my agent, and he's like, that project fucking sucks, and I'm like, I think I want to do it, and he's like, it's actually pretty good. There's some really good people attached to it. Like these idiots are always juggling their own lives.
Well, because they even said on day one of it, they're like, we would like you to not mention the name of the studio when you do this crowdfunding thing.
Seriously?
And on day two, they were like, you guys can talk about this.
Yeah. Go ahead and throw a name in it if you want to. And they have a huge poster with their name above everything. You're like, sure, man. Well, so easy transition into the new movie. It comes out when?
4/20.
4/20.
By the way, with the same studio. We love these guys. They keep making our movies.
We still have to talk shit. That's part of the dance.
Yeah.
4/20 it comes out.
Yeah. They put out Super Troopers 2 on 4/20. It worked out really well for them.
Yeah,
and
turns out it would.
That's our date apparently now for some reason.
Well, I mean, I think whether or not you guys are cut from that cloth.
Yeah,
your fans definitely smoke pot.
Yeah,
they do.
But my dad,
you guys all smoke pot?
To this point, my dad doesn't get it.
Yeah, your dad doesn't get it.
I was like, 4/20. What's 4/20? He goes, that's Hitler's birthday.
That's why we smoke pot.
And I was like, what? I said, that's Hitler's birthday.
I love. Why did that ever get? How did that get? Because 4/20, the history is from Southern California. From 4/20 meeting outside behind so and so. It's from I think it's from San Diego or something like that. But then somehow. No one did a background check on 4/20 to find out if it had offensive
Hitler's
ties.
birthday? Nobody knew.
Yeah, like of all the times that we could just do 4/21.
Well, they're taking 4/20 back, so fuck Hitler.
Yeah, fuck Hitler is right. And I know that's controversial to say these days.
Yeah,
I'm glad somebody's coming out with
that's
it.
Hitlerism. That's Hitlerism, bro. Not cool.
There will be a group online that's like, did you hear what they said about Hitler? It's completely disrespectful.
They said fuck Hitler.
So you guys, look.
So 4/20, yeah.
Because the reason I asked that is, and you said yes, you guys all still partake. You still like to smoke grass. It's funny because there are people that I've met over the years as I've grown in the business that have a weed tie, but they don't smoke weed.
Yeah.
And it's so common now that I'll meet someone and be like, you don't fucking smoke weed. And they're like, no, man, I don't. Like you guys have heard of the musician Ben Harper?
Yeah, sure.
There's the most famous song called Burn One Down. It's his, arguably his most probably played song. I'm gonna burn one
Yeah.
down.
Keep going.
Yeah, okay, hold on one second. Well,
Hey, the rights. Gotta
back
pay-
me
gotta
up there,
pay for the
frat boy. No, but I met him and I became buddies with him, and I went and saw him live, and I asked him, I was like, do you want to get high at all at the show? And he's like, I don't smoke pot. And I was like, wait, are you, not anymore? He's like, I never smoked pot.
Whoa.
I wrote that song about one of my best friends from youth who was struggling with smoking too much weed and trying to balance his life with like relationships and family. And he was just like, he was kind of wasted away in Potville, but I was saying if it was making him happy, then who gives a shit?
Yeah.
And he's like, that was the entire basis of that song. I was like,
Wow.
So you don't smoke? He's like, no, I don't smoke pot at all. But his entire fan base.
Sure. It's hard.
Absolutely. smokes
Like
pot.
when he plays that song in concert, that's when everybody fucking lights up.
Yeah, me too, man. Yeah, I like also when I've seen him, I was like, well, you have to get high right now.
Yeah.
You're going to get
We
high.
have a weed brand called Smokin' Lizard.
Smoking Lizard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we still smoke pot.
But again, I the only reason I ask is because I've met enough guys where they're like, nah, man, I don't really.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, then there's the other side. I met Wiz Khalifa and was frightened. To get high. I did not want to get high with him because I was like, once you enter that world with those guys,
Sure.
you can't say, I'm good. There is no such thing as pass a joint. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
Because they're like, no, this is what happened.
Sure. That was the whole Willie Nelson thing. I mean, we made a movie with Willie Nelson. I mean, Willie Nelson, you can't get away from it. You can't get out of that bus without crawling out of
He
that
also
bus.
knew that we were kind of known to be like the younger smokers.
Yeah.
And the same thing happened with Snoop Dogg. When they know you have that reputation, they bring out some heavy shit.
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
try to knock you the fuck out. And they do.
And it works.
Yeah, knock
And
you
they
out.
do. They knock you the fuck out.
Snoop for sure. I know.
Snoop Dogg smoked us mute.
Yeah.
We were on his TV show, and by the end of it, he was the only one speaking, and he was asking us questions, and you can see this online.
Yeah.
And we were all just in a
Yeah.
stupor.
Numb to the world.
In full highway patrol
I was wearing
costume.
sunglasses, thank God.
Mute, unable to do the bumper or the promo. I talked to Snoop about a time he smoked with Willie Nelson in Amsterdam, and he goes, "That old man knocked me out."
That to me is like what you need to have happen with him, though. It's
Yeah.
almost like he has to live up to that as well. Do you know what I mean? Which must be
Yeah.
exhausting because there has to be a day when Snoop wakes up and is like, I don't really want to smoke with these guys. I want to just get a little bit high and do my day. But he has to like prepare to be the Snoop all the time. You
Yeah.
have to put on the show. It's like our comedian buddy Bert Kreischer.
Yeah.
One time we were upstairs to the Improv, I'll never forget, and it was me, Theo Vaughn, and I think Rogan, and Bert comes upstairs and he's like exhausted, and we're sitting there on the couch. I'm looking up at him and he's kind of pacing and he looks frazzled. And I go, "What's up, man?" He goes, "I just don't want to take my shirt off anymore." I was like, too bad. I felt like an agent from the 50s, like, take your fucking shirt off. They want to see the titties. That's what they paid for.
They ain't here for the jokes. They're here for your tits.
Yeah. But it is true that you kind of have to. Do you guys ever feel like with your fans you have to live up to certain expectations that they want you to be?
I did a show at the Pemberton Music Festival. It was me opening. I did an hour, then Norm Macdonald came up after me.
Ugh.
And we rode up there together and got to know each other and cracking jokes. And we go, my show's at about 7:30 at the same time that Soundgarden is reuniting on the other side of the
Holy
thing.
shit. What, do you get 6 people to come see you?
well,
then? It's like Soundgarden on the other side.
Like Norm's like, yeah, let's go see the crowd. And I go there. We go there at 7:15, and they're probably. I mean, it's outdoors, right? So there's probably like 30 people there. And he goes, "Hey, nice crowd there, Super. Way to go, huh? You got a big crowd." And I'm like, "Oh, fuck, man! I'm gonna do this show in front of nobody."
Yeah.
And the guys from the Trailer Park Boys, he goes, "No, don't worry about that." He's the host of it, sort of. And he goes, "Give me the camera." And so the camera comes on, and he comes on all the screens around the place. He goes, "How many people you want?" And I'm like, 200 be nice. He goes, 200. You made Super Trooper. I'll give you 1,000. And he goes, "Hey, you assholes! Super Trooper guy's about to go on stage over here." I had about 1,500 people show up.
Holy shit.
And I walk on stage, and Norm's watching from the side, and I'm like in the middle of my first opening bit, and someone hands me a joint, and I'm like, okay. So I just take a little pop, and they go, "Finish it!" And I'm like, okay. So I smoke that thing, and I put it out, and someone hands me a brand new one.
No.
And these motherfuckers, I smoked 6 full joints.
Right.
And I didn't miss a joke.
That's
and
good.
I
That's
fucking
impressive.
And I come off stage, and Norm's like, "Am I gonna have to smoke all that weed? Jesus Christ!" And of course he didn't. He goes on there with a cigarette. He goes, "Fuck you."
Yeah. Dude, the fact that you made it through is impressive. Maybe the high didn't kick in.
I was high as a fruit bat.
But
I was fucking
six would. I mean,
But the other problem is
triple
that we made a movie called Beerfest, and that's everyone
Great
wants
film.
to fucking chug with you. Everyone wants to.
Well, and I
all the
feel bad
time.
for him because, like, we would do our meet and greets after our shows, and people would come up and they would just want to chug full beers against him. They didn't care about me, and he.
Oh, wait a minute, they care about you. I feel like I had to say that.
Thank
You were
you.
begging for it a little
Thank
bit.
They wanted to
Thank
make
you. I
love
was
to you. They
fishing.
want
They
to
don't
chug with
care
me.
about
I was
me.
fishing.
They love you.
Yeah, they want to make love to you.
But like a guy would come up and chug with him, and then the next guy would come up and chug with him, and you see all these guys there with their beers, and at some point, like I would have to step in and be like, "You guys, he's a human being.
Yeah.
You have to you're gonna
No,
kill
he's
him.
not.
Let him be.
He's landfill."
He can do it.
We ended up just
Yeah.
kind of you put everyone together. Hey, if everybody wants to chug, everyone did together. Let's not do one at a time.
Yeah.
But listen to
We'll
us.
be all right.
Listen to us.
Yeah.
Our fans are telling us they want to drink with us.
Well,
and
you
play
know,
with
it
us.
gets
Our problems could
hard
be
after
worse.
a while.
Our problems
Yes,
could be
right.
worse.
We're not digging ditches, right? We're not digging.
But that is, it's not, it's like not the Crimey River thing. People also don't understand that is an undertaking when everyone is like, it's my experience with you. And you're like, yes, but there's 10,000 of you right now.
Right.
So I love you, but
Right.
also that's a daunting task to like have to continue to do. People don't, I think it's hard to comprehend because people are like, well, it's my show. I paid to see you. It's for me, and you guys are doing this for me. And these other people are fucking assholes. They're not big fan. I'm a big fan.
Yeah. And there's a little offshoot of that, which just happens like just do this one, and then you do the chug with them, and they're like, I'll make sure nobody else bothers you.
Okay.
I'm going to be your bodyguard, and you're like, I don't.
Okay, guy
That's
who's
okay,
walking
buddy.
away in 3
Yeah.
seconds.
That's
yeah.
okay, pal. That's okay.
I don't mean to blow up your spot. That's what they say. You're like,
Yeah, these fucking guys are assholes. Don't worry, I'm
But-
cool. I got you. Cool. Yeah.
He's right here. He's right here. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. I'm not gonna blow up your spot, dude, but also, yeah, I'm definitely gonna blow up your fucking spot.
In here, we pour whiskey.
Hey, with all this rain we've been having in Los Angeles, California, it was unseasonable amounts of rain. My lawn was getting soaked, and now it's time to repair and grow. That's where Sunday comes in. The weather's starting to warm up, getting out in my yard, digging in my garden, playing with my puppuccino out there is one of my favorite parts of the spring. Sunday lawn care makes it easier than ever to enjoy. Now that spring is here, the days are going to be longer, flowers are going to be blooming, and I want to be out there in the yard, and you have to have yourself a good system to keep your yard looking nice. Everybody knows that. Sunday is everything you need to get the lawn care you've always dreamed of. This spring, go to getsunday.com/whiskey, enter your address to get a customized plan created just for your lawn. No trips to the store, hauling heavy bags over your shoulder, spilling all over the backseat of your car. They ship straight to your home. You just need a hose to apply Sunday. I know you got a hose. You can fertilize your whole lawn in less time than it takes to watch an episode of your favorite television show, Dave, which is out right now on FX and Hulu the very next day, featuring your boy. They only use ingredients you can feel good about. No harsh chemicals, no long waiting periods, or trying to keep your kids or pets off the lawn. Simply apply, let it dry, and you're back to enjoying your yard. This is a big deal for me because I love playing in the yard with my pup. And I hate putting down weird chemicals. I don't know what's in it. It gets on her paws. She licky like they always do. And I don't know what's going to make her sick. And hopefully she's going to be okay when you put weird stuff on. But you don't know. With Sunday, you do know. There's no harsh chemicals. And you just spray it, let it dry, and you're back to enjoying your lawn. Sunday is easy and affordable. Some lawn care services cost more than $1,500 a year, but Sunday's full season plan starts at just $109. Sunday is offering our listeners 20% off. Full season plans start at $109. You can get 20% off when you visit getsunday.com/whiskey at checkout. That's 20% off your custom plan at getsunday.com/whiskey. Hey, I've created my own websites since I started my career, and most of you probably have done that too if you're an entrepreneur of some kind. Whether you are selling a product, you're a fitness instructor, you're a comedian, you're a poet, you're an artist, or you're someone that just likes to have your own site to rant and blog online, you've got to use Squarespace. I've been using it for so long now, and now they've advanced, man. They have so many wonderful things about creating your own site, particularly member areas where Squarespace makes it easy for creators to monetize your content, get paid, baby, in a way that fits your brand. With member areas, you can unlock new revenue stream for your business and free up time in your schedule by selling access to gated content like videos and online courses or newsletters. They have appointment scheduling if you're someone who's given yoga lessons. You know, you're a yoga instructor, you're a Pilates instructor, you say, I want to fill you in on a calendar. They got appointment scheduling built in for Squarespace. They got a video studio. You can create pro-level videos effortlessly. And also email campaigns. And the most important thing, for me, Squarespace connects all your social media accounts, but it also has analytics right there for you to use. Use insights to grow your business, learn where your site visits and sales are coming from, and analyze which channels are most effective. That way I know where to come see you guys on the road to come say hi. Improvise my set in front of you, knowing where you are and where I'm going, helps me to figure out what I'm doing in your town. You can use all these features right now by creating your own beautiful site on Squarespace. You got to do it. Head over to squarespace.com/whiskey for a free trial. When you're ready to launch, use the offer code whiskey to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Again, that's squarespace.com/whiskey for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch that site, use the offer code whiskey to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Ginger. I like gingers.
The weirdest one that I had recently was a guy walked onto the airplane and he goes, "Dude!" And I go, "Hey, what's up?" Like this. And he goes, "What's up?" And I was like, "Hey, man, like, let's transition this into like a normal,
Sure.
You know, like I was like, "Hey, what's up, man?" Like I
Nice to
keep
see
going down here,
Yeah.
so maybe he'll go down here.
Yeah.
And then he goes, "Got a photo? Can I get a photo?" Almost like rude, like I'm gonna say no. I was like, "Yeah, we do photo, man. That's fine." And I like go to stand up a little bit, and then he's this way with me down in the seat, and he's like almost pushing me back down, and he's like, "Just chill." And he's taking, so I'm like a little boy, uncomfortable in the airplane seat. I couldn't look more stupid, crunched up in the air, like, "Yeah, thank you, da da da." And he takes a phone and he goes, like that, puts it away, and then walks down. Like, not good enough.
I had a dude. Go ahead.
Go.
I was in Amsterdam, and with a bunch of people. It was our first day there, probably our first hour there. We were at a cafe. And just, like the bongs were out on the table. We were just getting settled. And a dude, I hear a voice go, "I hear you jerk off frogs for a living." And I looked up and I didn't, it's such a non sequitur in another country on your first day that
Sure.
I was like, "Huh?" And he said, "I heard you jerk off frogs for a living." I was like, "Oh, okay, Beerfest, right?" And he's like, "Can I shake your hand?" I'm like, "Sure." And he reaches forward and knocks over the dirty bong water onto me. He knocks over the bong all over me.
This guy.
But then doesn't acknowledge it because he's nervous.
Yeah.
And so I'm soaked, and he's like, "Can I get a picture?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure."
Yes. Yeah.
And we get up and we take the picture. He's like, "Oh my God, my friends will be so psyched." He's like, "Thank you so much." And he walks out and never acknowledges that he knocked a dirty bong onto
bong
me.
water on you. Right.
By the way, he goes home to his buddies. He's like, "Dude, I knocked bong water on that asshole," and we didn't even talk about it.
Yeah.
It was great. Yeah.
He didn't even have the balls to punch me in the face.
He didn't fucking flinch.
How great is Amsterdam, by the way?
You know what? It was fantastic.
Yeah, it is really.
But not just for the reason you think it's going to be. Like we took the boat tours through the canals. Like it's fucking gorgeous.
No, yeah, I'm not even the weed thing aside is really about that place is just like it does feel like it's an algorithm place where it's like, is it beautiful? And are the people really nice? And is everything accessible? It's like, is this checking off like way too many boxes? I feel like at some point someone's going to come out and be like, "You're all dead." And you're like, "Oh, fuck."
Yeah.
Because it's almost like too ethereal. It's like a very sweet, pretty, calm, easy place where you're like, what's the shit thing though? What's the, you know what I mean? Every country I travel to, I'm like, what's the thing that's going to piss me off? I'm going to find it. Like in Australia, I was there for 2.5 months. Yeah, I got some stuff. At the beginning, I was like, "It's amazing." And then you're like, "Well, there's some shit."
Really?
Well, Sydney's like a fucking...
We went there briefly though, like for
We had
a
an
week.
incredible
2 weeks.
time.
Yeah.
Sydney's okay. Sydney's cool. It's just, I think Melbourne is better than Sydney. I love Melbourne. I think Melbourne's one of the coolest cities
This
I've ever been
podcast doesn't air in Australia. Is that what's
Yeah,
going on?
well, they wouldn't understand it, mate. No, but it just, I liked Sydney. It just felt super manufactured, where Melbourne felt like it was kind of figuring itself out. It was like Sydney was the older brother who's like, "I know, like I'm going to do finance, Dad, and you're gonna fucking love me." And Melbourne was like, "I'm gonna paint for a couple of years," and I dropped out, And everybody likes that guy more because that guy's more fucking free and weird.
You're talking to three guys who couldn't have had a better time in Australia.
I
That's
loved
why
it.
we're
We
silent.
No, I loved it.
We had a great time.
I loved it. It was just,
But we weren't there for a long time.
It's where he came up with the idea for Beerfest in Australia.
in Australia. In
Yes.
Sydney?
On the road.
We did Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne, and the Gold Coast, and we were there to promote Super Troopers. So we were on 20th Century Fox's dime. Fucking
Did they private jet you guys
best
over there?
hotels. No, but first class.
Yeah.
That was my
And
first
that-
first class ever.
Me
Was
too.
it?
Yeah.
For
Oh,
20th bill?
Yeah,
20th bill?
yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Super Troopers.
The miles you got from that fucking trip that kept me flying free for years. Like first class to Australia and back. But like they treated us so well. It was like, it's that one moment in time where you're like, holy shit, so this is what this life is. Like, this is the way these people can get treated.
Yeah, but
Well, that's how they are always treated. That's the difference. The
But that's the
studio
great
guys,
thing about their,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
all their, you know, all the fun that you had there. You know, it was like they decided they were going to promote our movie, and nobody knew who the fuck we were because Super Troopers didn't come out yet. They took us to a beer garden,
Oh, shit.
and so they took us to a beer garden, and we just went there, and nobody knew who we were, and they put us up on the stage,
In
and they
cop
announced
uniforms.
we weren't in the cop.
Oh, we
uniforms,
weren't,
No, but they put us up on the stage and announced that we were Americans, and that we were here to drink with all the people in the beer garden, and people went fucking crazy. There were like bachelor parties and all kinds of shit. They wanted to fucking kill us. It was like
It was
you
we
know,
were going to chug
"Come
against
here,
them.
mate. You know,
Yeah.
You know,
It was like compete again. It was like you were a circus act.
Yeah, well,
Oh, yeah.
Drink against the
we
Americans.
chugged a lot at our college, so we're like, well, let's challenge the top 5 guys in the room to a chug race.
And we said some offensive things.
You said,
Go ahead.
What did I say? I can't remember.
What did you say?
you
I
said,
don't know.
uh,
Some fucking
yeah,
a dingo, right?
Crocodile
Fucking a
Dundee.
dingo.
Crocodile Dundee can suck my dick.
Brilliant.
Pretty much what I said. Yeah.
And then you went
National
after
fucking
Russell Crowe.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, yes, I did. But he had just, that was when he would just, remember, he had just thrown his hotel telephone
Yeah.
at
There was
his
some story
assistant.
out. Yeah.
and that was coming out.
Yeah, but what
That's
did the
why he
assistant
went
say?
after him.
You know what I mean? What did the assistant say to get a hotel phone thrown at them?
Well,
You're right. It was the
they
assistant's fault.
lost their mind about
Crazy.
Russell Crowe, but when they did the Crocodile Dundee, it felt like we were going to get murdered.
yeah,
Yeah.
you get killed for some shit like
Yeah.
that. That's fucking that's a big deal.
We did have to get escorted out of there in
Because
a
of
van.
that
Remember,
comment.
it devolved into like it was a chug contest, and then it turned into an arm wrestling contest.
Yes.
Which is a 5. They picked 5 Australian guys going against the 5 of us, and we won.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, because
Yeah.
what happened in the chug, we decided to do a boat race. So like each guy has 2 pints.
Love a boat race.
Go all the way down. The anchorman does 2,
Come on
and then
back.
you bring it back.
Yeah.
I'm not naming names,
Paul
Please,
Soder.
please
but
do.
one of the guys.
Paul Soder.
in
Shout
our
out to Paul
group
Soder.
cannot. But did you notice the other night, or when we were on Corolla, when you said he couldn't chug, he got very defensive about it.
I
You heard
know.
it here, you heard it here, Paul. You can't chug, baby boy.
He was like, you were like, and you can't chug. You're the worst chugger in the group. Which I didn't even bat an eye at that. I'm like, well, we all know that. And he got very defensive about it, which was interesting. But he went second, and by the time he finished his
he
beer,
went 4th. Because we were winning 1, 2, 3. We were ahead a full guy. And we were like, oh, we're going to smoke these guys. He went 4th and is like, glug, glug, glug.
Paul.
And they passed us. And then this poor guy had to try to catch up. And he did catch up.
And
now
I
we're
did.
back
I was
ahead
gonna say,
again.
you did. You
but
did.
now it's time for Paul to
beers.
go again. Now Paul's going again.
Fuck.
And he's like, glug, glug. And we get way
They were-
behind. And then
they were finished.
It's over.
Right.
Yeah.
But this
we won
was
the arm wrestling.
But
Well,
this
so then
was
we-
the
then we-
this was the impetus for Beerfest then.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Was being down there drinking at a
Being-
beer.
Well, because
garden.
we were humiliated. We were humiliated, and these
As Americans,
we were the only 5 Americans in that place of hundreds of Aussies, and they're fucking cheering and like
Drunk and wild.
like go fucking home, you know, like all that shit. And then we started challenging him to individual chugs and an arm wrestling competition, and we won those.
we won those.
You proved who the
We
better
tried,
people
except
are.
then
Yeah.
they-
But when he said Crocodile Dundee can suck my dick, I thought they were going to attack us.
Yeah, that
And the publicist is like, we're getting out of here. And we went out a back door into a van and
Fucking throwing
screeched
bottles
off.
at
And
us
he
and shit.
goes, that could make a good movie.
I mean, who said that? You
Kevin.
did? That's. I mean, it is a great fucking movie. And cheers to Australia for that.
to Australia.
I want
We
some.
love
I
Australia.
need some clarification. I fucking love Australia. I had a phenomenal time. I just had so much fun in Melbourne that when I got to Sydney, my view was so skewed because Sydney was this kind of the pretty girl. You know, it's like, ooh, Sydney. It's like this thing. And then I kind of like the dirty girl down south. I just like Melbourne was like this filthy little bitch. And I liked Sydney. It just didn't have that same kick to me. But
Well-
I had a phenomenal time in Australia and I loved filming there. And also, I do like you, Sydney. Don't get fucked. The fans do this thing where they're like, oh. One time I said one thing about Pittsburgh and they were like, oh, don't come back then. Don't ever come back. And you're like, okay, dude, fuck off. Chill out. No, but I did love it. And also, I shouldn't tell this story. but
Did
I'm
you have
going
sex?
to.
Did you have sex with a girl?
No, I went to Russell Crowe's house.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, which was crazy.
Did he
I
throw
went
a
to
phone at you?
Russell Crowe's house.
Chuck
He
a phone at your head?
did.
Yeah?
He did.
Okay.
Were you that assistant?
Without giving too much information away, because it's not my business to tell. It's okay to say I went to the party.
He's uncircumcised, isn't he?
Oh yeah, and it's only 4.5, and he does this whole thing. It's like
But
5.5, mate.
Yeah.
4.5, dude. 4.5. 4.5, buddy. No, he threw a party, and we went with some friends, and I was so out of place, and I immediately was like, why the fuck am I here? And I was so baked. I was so fucking baked
Yeah.
when I showed up, and I was like, this is so dumb that I came to this thing. Because I knew we were going to go there. Like they had said, like, hey, I think we're going to Russell Crowe's house. And I was like, okay. And I was drinking and smoking, not thinking anything at the hotel, thinking like, we're not going to fucking Russell Crowe's house. But when it did become a thing where like, we're getting cars, I should have chilled out because I showed up way too baked. And he was sitting behind the bar, and I walked up, and in my mind, I was like, just say, thanks for having us at your house. Just thanks for having us over. You know, he doesn't know me. He knows me through someone else. And I just walk up there and I'm like, hey man. And he's like, what's up? And I was like, you do something to drink? And he was like, what? And I was like, did you grab something? Can I have something to drink? And he's like, yeah, just make it yourself. And I was like, you got it. And I grabbed a drink and I sat on the patio for like an hour being like, that's it. You're done. That's it.
Fuck.
He thinks you're that guy now. That's like, that annoying redheaded freak came
Well, 'cause
and
by the way-
demanded a drink. Like, who the fuck am I?
And by the way, when you're stoned in your head, you're like, he thinks you're that guy. And then a second goes by and you're like, because I am that guy.
You are that guy.
Oh no! Although the funniest thing I will
He's
say that
Zeus.
happened was I'm on the patio with
Nicole Kidman.
Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
I'm on the patio with Bill Macy, who's incredible. He's in this movie that we did, and William H. Macy is talking to. We're just having just a regular chat, and in the middle of his conversation, like he's talking. In the middle, he cuts himself off, and he goes, "The music inside is far too loud." Yes. And I go, I mean, yeah, relative, I guess. He goes, no. It is far too loud for a party. And I was like, okay. He goes, I'm going to ask him to turn it down. I was like, wait, are you really? He's like, yeah, it's far too loud. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to. Okay. And he's like, I'll go talk to him. And I think he was kind of saying like, come along with me while I do this. And I was like, oh no.
Be my muscle.
I'm going to start smoking again. I'm going to be out here not telling Russell Crowe his music is too loud in his house. So I let Bill Macy go on his own. The music did not get turned down for the record.
It'd
Did
be
not.
sweet if Bill Macy kicked Russell Crowe's ass.
He beat the shit out of him, is what
It
I want.
would be
I don't want to tell the full story, but he fucking had him in a chokehold.
Holy
He's
shit.
like, turn it down, bitch.
Yeah.
He's like,
It
never
would've
cunt. It just
been
never.
sweet if Bill Macy went in there and it was Russell Crowe's band playing 5 Odd Full of Grunt or whatever that is.
Back off, I'm
He was
Zeus.
like, can you turn it down?
He was a nice guy, pleasant to have us in his house, not talking any shit. Nice guy, but also, man, did I fuck it up. I never should go to those things anyway. Anytime I'm invited to a Hollywood party, like, have you guys been to one of these like big annoying Hollywood parties where you're like, why did we do that? Why did I show up to this fucking thing?
I had this with Patrick Swayze.
Give it.
We were at this is before we'd fucking done Super Troopers. And like we're at the 3 of us, all broken, there's huge Patrick Swayze fans. And we found ourselves at this party at like, it was a hotel party.
Yep.
Right at like the Avalon Hotel, and they had like fucking synchronized swimmers and shit. Like,
Whoa.
and you know,
That's for Swayze, dog. That's all Swayze, baby.
It was.
and a girl who was she was producing, she was an associate producer on Super Troopers, said, I know you guys are like Patrick Swayze was over there in a group. We were watching him from afar and like, holy fucking shit, it's Patrick Swayze. It's fucking Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
And we're like, God, could you imagine meeting Patrick Swayze? What would you say to him? And we started just like amongst friends, you're reminiscing about the movies. You're like, God, there's Point Break, and Dirty
Roadhouse.
Dancing, The Outsiders, and fucking
Point Break, by the way. Say no more.
Tu Wong Fu.
Tu Wong Fu.
Wong Fu, and Next of Kin, and Ghost.
Yeah.
And
Dirty
like,
Dancing.
Yeah, and we're literally, and then we're quoting lines to each other. Anyway, this girl comes over and she's like, by the way, I'm friends with Patrick Swayze. Do you want to come and meet him? Now, at this moment, Kevin had gone over to the fucking buffet table and was like, I looked over and he's got like fucking, he's 3-handing it. He's got one in his mouth and one in each hand.
Young starving actor.
Let the guy live.
Come on.
Let the guy live.
No judgment.
I'm at a Swayze party. I'm going to eat.
Jesus. I mean,
No
free
judgment.
food,
No
bro.
judgment.
Starving actor.
Except she said, but you got to come now because he's about to leave. And I was like, I was torn because I was like, I got a minute to meet Swayze. I can't go corral him. And so I went over there and she did this thing. She was like, he was with his wife and he was with a bunch of people. And she said, I want you to know we have a real Patrick Swayze fan in our midst. And everybody, he looked at me and he goes, really?
Why the setup, lady?
And I was like, yeah. And then everyone's looking at us. It's like when your parents looked at you when you're like 13, the first time they see you talking to a girl, and they're like, and everyone's looking like, what's going to happen?
Uh-huh.
And like, I could feel myself locking up already. And I said, hey, Patrick, let's go talk over here. And I brought him away from the group because I didn't know what else to say.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to say. And I brought him over to like a Japanese lantern, like a lighting lantern. And he's like, what's up, pal? And I was like, I looked at him and I couldn't fucking think of one thing to say. And I couldn't even think of any of the movies we talked about. And I just said, what kind of a name is Swayze? And he's like, it's British. And I was like, oh, God, I didn't realize British names had Z's in them. And he's like, they do. And like, I was like, is it not a stage name? He's like, no, it's my real name. And like, and we're just sitting there fucking looking at each other. And I guess he gave the signal to somebody.
Oh, yeah. He has Swayze's got the, he's like,
Yeah.
one swoop behind his right ear.
Almost like a half wink.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Send him in.
Yeah.
Matt Dillon came in with his back to me and said, excuse me, bub, and got between us.
MD bumped you?
Yeah.
MD fucking
Bumped you,
both,
dog?
both shoulder blades. Bang.
Holy
Left shoulder blade, bang. Left shoulder blade, right shoulder blade. Like he just came right across the shoulders, and it was fucking over.
Like that.
It was over for me.
Goodbye.
And I came over back to Heffernan, and Heffernan's like, oh my God, tell me everything. and like, I was like, it's not what you think it is. And like, I fucking told him, and it was loser town.
So sad.
Oh, man, that is, I mean, but also, how would you have wanted it to go?
Well, that's the
other
kicker.
thing,
That's
right?
the kicker of it. So we're subletting some apartment in the Hollywood Flats or whatever, and we went back that night, and we're sharing the same bedroom, and he's in one bed and I'm in another bed, and the lights are out, and you're falling asleep, and all of a sudden I hear him laughing in the bed, like he's laughing uncontrollably. I'm like, what the fuck are you laughing at, man? He goes, I've been lying here for the last 10 minutes, reliving my Patrick Swayze moment and reliving it in a way that it went the way I wanted to go, and I was charming, and we fucking rode horses together or whatever. And I just realized what a fucking loser I am, and I just started laughing in the dark. And I always thought that is
beautiful.
fucking beautiful.
Because that's honestly the best version of that. Like the monotonous conversation about something that doesn't really matter would have not been fun for you anyway. How was Ghost?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What?
But you had another crack at him, though.
Well, so I had another crack
you
at him.
redeemed yourself.
Because when Super Troopers was going to Sundance, Stuff Magazine, you remember Stuff Magazine? It was like a sister to Maxim.
Bikini
Maxim
magazine.
bought them out, right?
Yeah,
They became,
Yeah.
And
Tits 2.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
2.0 tits.
So they sponsored a party for us at Sundance, and our producer came running in one day and was like, "Guess whose publicist just called and has gotten them on the guest list for the Super Troopers party?" And I went, "Swayze?" And he went, "Fucking Swayze." And so Patrick Swayze came to the party, and we were clocking him from across the room, the three of us actually. And all of a sudden he looked over, and we locked eyes, and he fucking did a double take, and pointed at me. And walked at me, and I was like, holy fucking shit. And he was like, do I know you? And I was like, no. And he's like, yeah, I do. I know you from someplace. And I was like, no, you don't. And then he's like, Super Troopers. I just saw you in the movie.
Oh, thank God.
It was, I didn't have the mustache on. And then we got drinks together. We took photos together, and it was great. So
and
there was
didn't recall the Z. Is that a British name?
No.
That's good. That's thank God.
Did not remember.
God bless his lack of
Before
memory.
all that happened, I got a headshot of Patrick Swayze, and because after the first film, I wrote, Steve, I really think you're a great actor. We should do a project together, Patrick Swayze. And I sent it to him in the mail. And then he had it framed and put it up on the wall. He goes, you fucking believe this shit?
It's more than that, too. First, I got the thing, and I was like,
That is so fucking good.
well, I was like, this has to be Chandrasekhar. And so I called up Chandrasekhar. I was like, did you send me a fucking autograph photo of Patrick Swayze? He's like, you got an autograph photo of Patrick Swayze? And I was like, that was convincing. I mean, if you've listened to his impressions already today, you know he's a good
I'm
actor.
a professional actor.
He is a good actor. And he sold you right away because the questioning of what it was is better. Anyone that goes,
Smart.
anyone that goes, what are you? No, what are you talking about? Liar! Immediately.
Yeah.
But for him to go,
Yeah, and he's like,
whoa,
"Whoa,
that's incredible."
He's like, "Wait a minute, go back up. Tell me how this.
How did you get
How did you get this?" And I was like, "It arrived in the mail." He's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Swayze mailed you
Yeah,
a
because we
fucking...
lived in New York City. He's like, "How do you get your address?" I'm like, "I don't fucking know."
So good.
I called him up, same fucking thing. I mean, he actually had no idea what I was
Oh,
talking
you
about.
didn't know?
No, I didn't.
He's like, "It's
tell
got to be
anybody?
Chandrasekhar."
In the art of the con, you got to tell only those who need to.
Correct, which is nobody.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But by the way, it went on for a fucking year to the point where, like, finally I was convinced. And I had it framed and it front and center. When you walked in my 1-bedroom apartment in New York City, you walked in right on the hallway, right to the right. The first thing was the photo of Patrick Swayze. So that, like, dudes, chicks, anyone who came in, they're like, "Oh my God."
Swayze.
And I'm like, "Oh, you saw my picture of Patrick Swayze."
You
Well,
still have this photo.
I do.
Is it in your home somewhere now?
It is.
Yes.
In a frame.
That is brilliant. That is better than a real framed photo of Patrick Swayze.
though. It's debunked.
No.
No, because then-
there's an asterisk. That's
Right
all
after
is.
it was debunked, a pair of fucking clam digger shorts arrived at my house.
Capri pants.
Yeah, I remember that. A couple of capris.
And we were about to go make our movie Club Dread, which we shot down in Mexico, and this was in an unmarked, like, no return address, a big envelope, a pair of these shorts that came down to here, and it said, "Hey, I thought of you and bought these for you. Can't wait to see you in Mexico."
Scrap.
So nobody
Couldn't tell who said
No
it.
signature, no return address. I went through the rounds. I was like, "Chandrasekhar, you send me some fucking capri shorts here?" He's like, "Capri shorts? What are capri shorts?" I was
Clam
like,
diggers.
What are
Clam
Capri
diggers.
shorts?
Yeah.
Clam diggers.
Good sell.
What are they?
What do you mean?
But then no one
Like
fessed
the
up. I
island
wore
of
them.
Capri? What
Yeah.
does that
Do you
mean?
mean that's a little island off of Italy, correct?
Right? Yeah. And you mean shorts, as in short
I
pants?
thought they were capri pants. I wasn't familiar with capri shorts. But so in Mexico, I wore them. I wore them every fucking day. I was hoping to suss out the
try to
person.
find the killer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, so I wore them, and that was after we got back from Mexico. Is when he confessed to that one.
So let's boil this down. You're the brains. You're the brains of the boys.
We boil it down. Whenever you get some random shit in the mail, it's from him.
It's
Yeah.
from him.
That's what
But
we know.
you're a little sneaky bad boy.
I'm a little sneaky
You're a
bad.
sneaky bad boy. By the way,
That's what we call him, by the way.
sneaky bad boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, sneaky bad boy's
Hey,
coming.
sneaky bad boy.
Your name is way too long. Can
long.
we?
Ask him the long name. That's
What's
long
the
version.
longest version?
Well, my full name is Jayanth Jambalingam Chandrasekhar.
I've had Jumbalingam. I had that in New
It's
Orleans.
Well,
Delicious.
we had to wait to hear what it means.
Yeah.
So it means Jayanth Jambalingam Chandrasekhar translates to victorious large penis rising moon.
That's what he had in Orleans.
Yeah, and the
That is
Jumbalingam.
what that is-
And the
Yeah.
Jumbalingam is the big penis
It's the
part.
big one.
Wait, it means large
Yeah,
penis.
large
with
penis.
rising
And
moon?
I
You do
call
look like you have a large penis.
well, yeah.
Show him.
It's a family name.
Just take it out. Just take
so
it out.
I call my
This is
mother.
his dick. It's not a mic.
I used to take the nickname or we used to edit these movies, and I'd take an editing credit as Jumbalingam. And my friend Eric Stolhansky, who was in the group, he was watching one of our short films with some Indian friend of his and his mom, and the name came up, and she started laughing, and he goes, "What are you laughing at?" He goes, that means large penis," and he goes, "It does?" So he calls me up. He goes, "Did you know your middle name means large penis? We're like 24, right? And I'm like, "No."
When it means something.
So I call my mom up. I'm like, "Does Jumbalingam mean large penis?" And she goes, "Well, literally, yes. But it's a euphemism for power." And I'm like, "What?" I said, "Why did you tell me sooner?" But that's my dad's name, my grandfather, my son's name.
No shit.
Yeah.
But you're 24. You never even.
Here's the kicker.
didn't-
They all have tiny cocks.
Yeah,
They all have
that's
tiny
weird.
dicks.
One of them has a big dick, but you have to figure out which one it is. Welcome back to which Jumbalingam is the big one.
If you had known that in college, though, how would it have changed your
I
life?
I
Like,
just
you
would have
been-
subtly spread the word, and then people would start to hear about it. When
Sure.
women hear you have a name Big Dick, they're like, "Oh, let's check this guy out."
Yeah.
We all
But I
showered together in college. I mean,
Sure. You saw
But
the
that
fucking
name
beast.
is that Jumbalingam. How do you Jumbalingam?
Yeah.
Am I saying it right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I see it right now on the back of softball jerseys in college. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
The Jumbalingam
sure.
boys. Like, I mean, I can feel that would have been a call. You should.
Oh, man.
I wish
Well,
you
and once
captured
people
that
find
younger.
out about, like, remember, like,
Fantasy
what was it?
football team?
Randy,
Yeah, the
Randy
Jumbalingams.
Johnson. Remember the pitcher, Randy Johnson?
Kill the bird.
The big unit?
Yeah.
Big unit.
And when people found out, they called him that because of the big dick. Then it was like in his World Series parade, they're just shouting out fucking big dick,
Big dick, big
Right.
dick, big dick.
Right.
And he deserved it. That guy was a monster. He
Yeah.
was a beast. He was one of those guys where you're like, I bet you he power fucks everything in the world.
Sure.
He's this big mammoth moose, hard throwing, kind of trailer park looking guy. No
Little bit.
offense, RJ.
Yeah.
But you know,
Yeah.
of all the pitchers tend to be some of the cutest guys, the handsomest boys, and RJ was not
No,
blessed.
he was gross. And then
Was not
I saw that
blessed.
video the other day when he killed that bird. Remember that?
Yeah.
He threw the pitch and it hit the fucking bird, and the bird explodes in feathers. You know, you're like,
Yeah.
holy shit.
I love that so
Very
much.
sweet.
There was only a couple of guys that had that kind of power that was so. Nolan Ryan, same. I watched his documentary.
Fucking great.
It was so good.
Fucking great.
So fucking
Well,
good.
I didn't realize he was such a dick,
Yeah,
but in
no,
a good
he's
way.
such a dick.
But in a good way.
Yeah, yeah.
It was kind of like a
He's like John Wayne, you know?
Yeah.
same,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a deserved dick.
Yeah,
where
yeah.
you're
But
like,
like,
oh,
brush
this
your
makes
fucking
sense.
back. Don't
Yeah.
don't
Get
crab
out of
my
my way.
fucking plate.
Right, I like that. He went after people.
Yeah.
But
Now,
you're a Cubs guy.
I'm a
probably,
North
right?
Side kid. You're a North Side guy.
Okay.
That's
So
right.
Chicago, by the
Not
way.
to
shout
segue
out.
to your fucking
Here we go.
Chicago
All right.
No, we
bullshit.
should do.
Can I take my nap now?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Argentina. You want to fucking tongue tie with Old
¿Qué
Spaniard
piensas
up
del
there?
Argentina World Cup? Huh? El
There he
Mundial,
goes,
Mundial,
There he goes. No, I am a North Side kid. Pitch and baseball's back, and I'm glad to get a first W out of the books.
He's
out of
going to
the
throw
Cubs.
the first
I
pitch
know,
out
4-0.
next week.
Bless. Are you really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Throw the first
Are
pitch.
you gonna? Have you ever sung the stretch?
I never have sung the stretch, but unfortunately we got to go to Nashville, so I can't do it this
That's
time.
my-
I thought
that-
you were going to do the pitch.
I'm
Yeah,
going to throw
pitch,
the
first
pitch, but then we have to eventually go.
Go take off, okay.
She said I could watch 5 innings, and then we got to go.
What see in Chicago, right? The first pitch, great, phenomenal.
Yeah, but
but if you get to sing the
Take
stretch,
me out of the ballgame,
it's
whatever.
one of those things where my dad doesn't believe I'm remotely successful
Uh-huh.
until I do that.
Yeah.
And because for him, that's the only thing that means anything. Like a first pitch, awesome, proud. But he's like, yeah, but it fucking, they let the local gymnastics kid do that. Yeah. You gotta, once you get up in the booth where Harry Carey was, that to my dad is like the ultimate. When that happens, he'll be finally like,
have you ever tried to pursue it, or are you like, hey, I'm
no,
in town,
no,
do
but I'm
shows,
not
or-
even remotely famous enough to do the, no way. Like you have to be famous to do to
Yeah.
sing. I feel like,
I got a great idea.
what is it?
Come with us to Chicago.
Yeah.
Put on Indian face.
Good, good.
Honestly, you're like a redheaded Jay Chandrasekhar. If, like, look, you got thick eyebrows like Chandrasekhar.
My neighbor was Indian growing up. Good guy,
Boom,
good people.
boom.
You
Good
probably know
people.
him.
That'll be your defense when the press comes for you.
My Indian was neighbor growing up. I know Jay.
Why don't you just stay and do it? I mean, who gives a shit? Or you probably.
You should fucking
I'm not
stay.
trying
It's
to.
Nashville.
I
I mean, not just Nashville.
Maybe you can. Maybe you can't do
She
it.
doesn't
I
even
don't know.
want me to stay for any innings of the game. I'm
No,
like,
I
do you
see.
realize if I throw out the first pitch and leave, that what a,
They'll never know.
Sure.
Who's it?
But
Caitlin?
does she?
No, I shouldn't say names.
No, but
I'm saying a PR person.
But
I know
the
for the Cubs. I'm
seventh
like, is that
inning-
who it is? Yeah.
No.
No,
the
this
take
girl
me
for
out to the
Cubs.
ball game is just as important, if not even more important.
Sure. Talking about press. I mean, come on, bro.
Yeah,
That's
that's good
fucking
press.
press.
Good press. I hate to budge you into it, but you really should do it.
You should do it, man.
Who are they playing on the game? Do you know?
I don't know.
But did you grow up a Cubs fan?
Yeah.
God bless. Good guy.
Yeah.
I knew I liked you the most.
I was watching the Chicago Cubs when they put across the bottom of
wanna
the
go?
screen.
Yeah, should we get out of here?
Do you want to go?
Elvis Presley.
You guys want to go hit his car again or
Yeah,
something?
let's get out of here.
Elvis Presley is dead.
Oh,
We
wow.
went across the bottom of the Cubs. They're playing the Montreal Expos.
Elvis Presley is dead. And people were cheering. Isn't that the irony of that? People are like, it's a double to center. Elvis Presley dead.
Yeah, that's right.
In the background.
Well, we were gonna throw out the first pitch a couple years ago, right? And then because I remember they made jerseys for us, right? So
Love
we
that.
got the Cubs jerseys with the names on the
Incredible.
back. They gave them out to all of us, and then the game got rained out. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yes.
But but you guys don't love the Cubs because you're
we're Yankees fans.
You're Yankees
We're
kids.
Yan-
Yankees
yeah.
kids,
Yeah,
right?
hardcore Yankee
What
fans.
part? Are you New York as well?
Connecticut.
New York as well?
Yeah, Connecticut.
New York adjacent?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the whole
Mini New York.
Chicago conversation? The one you said, oh,
Love them.
we're gonna
That's
go.
the way they should
I don't
all
want
be.
the guys to go to
That's
sleep.
the way they
Now
should
we're
all
gonna
be.
these assholes.
I got limited time.
I've had a
with you
whole
guys.
bourbon. I want to fall asleep, guys.
No, you know what?
That's the New York guys bullying the Chicago guys into talking back about something we want to talk about.
Yeah, you guys, yeah.
You guys are the second city. You know what the first city is?
Although I asked, I'm going there next
Newark.
week. I asked to throw out a first pitch at the Yankee game, and I got denied.
No shit.
So,
yeah,
Well.
yeah. Surprise, surprise.
I
Because
don't
you're
make
from
the
Connecticut.
cut. I don't
That's
make the
right.
cut. Oh, whoever I am, I don't make the cut to throw out a pitch at the Yankees
Let me
game.
guess. Can I guess?
He's gonna burn you.
One of the Havens.
Yeah, new.
Are you new? I was
Yeah.
gonna say West.
Yeah. Well,
New.
I'm from West, but I always say new.
He's
You're
from West
amazing.
Haven.
You're
He's from
amazing.
West Haven.
I could.
That was
From the
amazing.
West.
How'd you know? What
I'm
are
a
the
West.
tells?
I'm a
Huh?
Haven.
What are the tells?
About a Haven boy?
Yeah.
Oh, he
Well,
doesn't.
they're usually grounded men.
Yeah.
They're grounded men.
The Irish are in the West,
Irish.
and the Italian are in the new.
You better believe it.
That's the way
Yeah,
it works,
that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
That is so funny about being from being from east of the Mississippi, and when someone like everyone in our world is on the east side of the country knows. And I go, yeah. So they go, Santino. You go, yeah. Irish and Italian, fucking these two scumbags lived right next to each other.
Sure.
Seems
That's what
like
we did.
easy math.
Yeah.
And you come out west when I moved here when I was 18, and people were like, what is a fucking redheaded Italian guy? And you're like, you fucking idiots. Yeah. Hey, go anywhere on the East Coast. You're
What
like,
is the
these-
Irish name of your, like
The Garrities.
The Garrities.
The Garrities,
Oh,
yeah.
We had some Garrities.
The Garrities, yeah. It's so funny. It's like
We had some Garrities.
my dad's whole friendship group was all like mafioso nickname people.
Okay.
It was like Joe the Hat. And and Squishy and
Yeah,
Marf
Johnny
and all the-
Lips.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
my mom's was always like the Houlihan's and the Flahertys. And It was it was the gangs of New York in Chicago.
That's hysterical.
We can give more Chicago.
I had some
jazz
Garrities. I
for
mean,
you.
maybe we're related, man.
We probably
I
are.
had some Garrities.
Yeah, well, it means we can't have sex, which we
Okay,
already did.
That's fine. That's fine.
Which we already did. What are
Okay,
you gonna
well,
do,
once,
man?
once,
Can
that's
I
all
tell
do.
you a little fan interaction story I just remembered?
Give it.
I was with Kevin. We were going on the road. We were in LAX, and we had
That's
just
not how you pronounce it.
LAX.
LAX, not LAX.
LA.
Now that
LAX.
is always on the A for some
Sure.
reason.
LAX.
Yeah.
And we had just put our bags onto the conveyor belt, and I decided to release my first fart of the day.
Good boy.
You know, you always smile when you release that first one. It's like smelling the morning air as you lift up and pop
I'm
it
trying to
off.
figure out what the transition, the segue here is. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I went to release my first fart of the day, and I shat in my pants.
What age is this?
This is like 3 years ago.
Oh, this is recent.
Yeah, it's definitely somewhere between 2009 and 2019.
Yeah.
Drinking the night before?
But you have kind of a loose anus.
It's possible. You saw that, right?
Is that the next movie?
right?
Loose Anus?
He has a little bit of a loose anus.
You've been around, huh?
Like, we're not talking about the cause. We're talking about the effect.
Oh, I see.
Okay,
Right,
so,
right, right.
I thought it was related.
No,
but
no,
okay.
you remember this. You remember this.
I know. I totally remember it.
So,
Yeah.
but like not a big shit.
Yeah, it was
Like a
oops.
fart,
It was
like a
oops.
you
Yeah.
know. But I was like, oh fuck, and I look, and our bags are just going into the tunnel. Now
right.
they're
So
now
you
they're
can't
gone.
get any pants. Can't get any underwear.
And so then we're like shuffling, and we walk, and we get through security.
We're going to a stand-up show.
And I'm dying to get to to a lounger. I'm gonna go in the lounge and
Yeah.
wash up.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna buy some sweatpants or something like that. I'm
Sure,
gonna get us
right.
all cleaned up. But then a dude intercepted us. It was like, "Can I get a photo with you guys?"
Oh, man.
And we're like, "Sure, absolutely." And our thing is when we take pictures with guys, like first we do like a serious face, and then we do like a that kind of face, and then like a fist face and everything. But
Yeah.
This time you had to do the I just shit my pants face.
right.
What did that look like?
Well, I don't know because I haven't seen the photos. But what I do know is there's a fan out there with like 4 or 5 photos of the two of us with him, and there's shit in my pants.
How wonderful.
Right.
What a wonderful. You're out there, wherever you
know.
are at LAX or LAX airport. You got a
LAX.
photo with you with shit in your fucking pants.
With shit in my pants.
God bless, man.
for you, man.
Isn't the world good sometimes?
Here's an interesting thing.
Mm-hmm.
They don't sell sweatpants in airports. They don't sell pants in airports.
Why not?
Don't know. But I found that out the hard way.
Sounds like we got a business to brew.
Let me tell you, when there's a hole in the
business
market,
opportunity,
when
man.
there's a hole in the market, you fill it. I'm not fucking kidding. I washed everything off. I put my I washed my jeans. I washed everything. Went out to like all those stands, and they've got sweatshirts, hoodies, t-shirts, hats, all that shit. I was like, "Do you sell sweatpants?" And they're like, "No, no one sells pants.
What?
Shorts? No one sells lower body wear."
You know why?
Why?
Because most people shopping in those stores are adults, and most adults don't
their
shit
pants.
themselves.
Right.
So
That's
it's,
probably what
I
it
think
is.
it's just kind of
But kids
Yeah.
do.
Loose.
little kids do, but you just got to let those guys. That's wrap a blanket around it, take it on its,
Yeah.
take it as it goes.
I fucked up. I shot
Yeah.
my pants.
What if it was just all you could find was like women pants? Would you have bought like some juicy,
Like capris?
some juicy
Some
pants?
juicy ass
Juicy
pants.
jeans?
You would have worn those.
100%.
That'd be awesome.
I shit my pants once. I will say I never did it my whole life, and I shit it in Japan like 5 years ago. And
Okay. And the context was what? Like you were just
we
had a tough
were
night,
we've
rough
gone
night?
out rough night,
Okay.
rough night, and we were
get it.
crossing the street to go get something to eat for breakfast. The place we wanted to go to was a long line, and I cough farted at the stoplight, and like it was almost like the gods were just like, watch this.
Yeah.
And, you know, the boys were over, and somebody upstairs was like, check this out, and I was like, and I was like, holy shit, and legitimately, and I had to go. If you've ever been to Japan, they're like our little 7-Elevens, they're little tiny corner stores, but you know. Those public bathrooms and places like that, they are literally 2 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet. I mean, it is such a tiny little
Sure.
bullshit bathroom. So I had to shimmy down my legs, and get naked in this little tiny Japanese bathroom to throw my underwear away, and then put my clean up, and then put my jeans back on. And then I thought, somewhere in Japan, a guy is cleaning up a bathroom and is unloading the trash, and is like, again, and sees just a little nugget in some poor man's underwear.
I'm sure it happens all the time.
Yeah, all the time. It happens all the time.
I fucking hate working Sunday morning.
Yeah. Every Sunday. Every Sunday. Every single Sunday. All right, let's end a debate real fast.
Okay.
And then I do want to talk about the fucking movie
Chicago
before you guys go.
This is Chicago debate?
But are you I said you had to go because they told me you had to go.
We got so much time.
No, you don't.
We don't?
3:00. You guys got to go.
Okay.
That's I've been told.
That's what they told you?
That's what I've been told.
Oh, boy.
Deep dish or
deep dish
pub style. Okay. All right. So you're a deep dish guy. You say deep dish.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting.
My problem with deep
as a
dish
Chicago
is...
guy, I'm not.
You're anti-deep dish.
Well, no. I like it, but I'm a tavern style. So old school Chicago, original Chicago is tavern style or pub pizza, which is square cut, super thin.
I like that too.
That's my...
It's like Domino's pizza.
I love Domino's pizza.
Sir.
It's like Domino's.
Sir.
That's what you're saying, right?
Well, that's the style.
Yeah.
But that is Chicago. That is actually Chicago's original pizza. So when people go Chicago pizza, Chicago people know deep dish is deep dishes are Times Square. That's not. That's,
I thought you were going to say deep
tourist
dish
pizza.
is delicious.
Well, it's not tourist pizza. It is delicious, but it's not. We have it like once every few years.
Right, because it's like eating a cake.
But that's what I mean. So when people go Chicago pizza, New York pizza is better than Chicago pizza. I'm like, first of all, you're comparing a thing that is wrong. So compare the real thing. Compare a thin crust, tavern style pub cut, square cut pizza
Crispy.
to your
that
to your
soggy
long,
ass,
floppy, soggy bullshit.
But you like a New York pizza, no?
I do like it, but
It's
but
okay.
pub
Because
style
it's the
is
best
the best
in the world, right?
No, it's not at
No,
all.
no,
It's
not
not at all.
even close.
And this whole lie that you guys permeate culture with of like, you'll get a good slice anywhere. 90% of slices in New York are fucking shit.
That's fucking bullshit.
Soggy.
You know
That's
it is.
fucking bullshit.
You know it is.
That's
it's like
fucking-
saying
no,
every
I don't.
hot dog off the cart is good. It's
That's
like,
like
no,
there
it
are
isn't.
some that are those big rubbery ones, but there's the best slice is in New York.
Yeah. And you can walk into any pizzeria and get a fucking fantastic slice.
There is argument to say that fucking Connecticut has the best pizza.
Connecticut's very good pizza.
Okay, so New
They have
York
very good
does this
pizza.
bullying thing where they're like, the best pizza. Then every good pizza review is from New York. All of
Chicago
them.
pizza sucks. Everybody's like Chicago
guy.
fucking pizza.
I'll tell you this.
That's a
the
bold
last time I
statement.
shit my
It's a
pants,
bold statement.
deep dish Chicago pizza.
Yeah.
That's
So
the
you're
last one.
welcome.
That's like
You're welcome. Give you life experience. the debate is never ending, and also
It's not a debate.
it is a debate. It is a debate. It is a debate. It absolutely is. Because you guys, once you guys stop
Says
comparing
you guys.
deep dish,
You guys in Boston are always fuck everything. Like
You
New
guys are
York
like
is just on top.
Yeah, you
New
guys
York
are
is on
the-
top.
you guys are the second
And you guys
city,
are like,
right?
we
You
have
guys
it
are the
too.
second city,
We
right?
have it too.
now New York
Ours
is
is
not
fucking
what it
best.
used to be anymore either. By the way,
Ours
It's
is fucking best. It's like Argentina versus
You know what New York is?
fucking
Dubai.
Spain.
New York is Dubai now. Look at all the buildings we built. Yay! Too many fucking buildings. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to be now. Everything's new in glass. It's shit, and you know that's fucking fact.
That's the biggest fucking crock of shit argument
New
I've ever
York
heard
is
in my life.
Dubai, man. It's too Dubai now. It's a fucking too many new things. Is 8,000 buildings being built. Chicago stays in our grounded roots.
Grounded.
We barely build new shit. We can't afford
You
it.
guys are scared.
Yeah, well, because everyone's dying. Nobody lives. No one's living. No, I'm in love with New York so much. I have this
And
affair
I
with
love
it.
Chicago.
We do love it. We do love each other so very much. But you know what? Philly can fuck off.
Don't
I'm
get
kidding.
me started on Philly.
No,
Holy
no.
Be
fucking
careful
shit.
with that.
No,
one.
okay, so tell me, boys.
Okay.
This new movie on 420 that's out right now. When this is out, it will be out on
Okay.
420.
Okay. On Hulu.
What do you want to say about it that's not giving away something that we shouldn't talk about?
It's
What's
called
the goal?
Quasi, and Lemme plays the titular character, Quasimodo.
Hunchback.
And it's our take on the Quasimodo story.
It's a 12th century French political thriller
Whoa.
with English accents and blood.
You know, he's right. I've been thinking about this.
Yeah.
Like he said it on Colbert
Yeah.
a couple nights ago, and I'd heard Jay say it once before, and I was a political thriller. And you're right. It's a political
That doesn't
thriller.
sound sexy.
I'm
though.
the brains.
Political.
I said that
Political
already.
thriller doesn't sound sexy.
Oh yes, it does.
Well,
That's why.
maybe
That's why I put the
it's-
blood in there.
That's Santino.
English accent
Well,
and
the blood
blood.
part. The blood. Okay, so
That's
look,
the sexy part.
he touched a lot of bases.
Right.
When he says he threw in political, English, French,
Okay.
blood. I mean, you're really hitting every kind of category of human.
Okay.
Hunchback.
Well, a hunchback is icing on the cake, really. I mean, you've got the food groups are all knocked out. You're just hunchback is like, whoa, and then
really and a
By the
hunchback.
way, amazing that you said it. Do you know what's in the hump?
what's in
Cake
Quasimodo's
icing.
hunchback?
Cake icing.
Is
Icing.
it really all
There's
icing?
cream in there. It's sweet. If you puncture a hunchback. Icing,
Now, is it
that's
the
what icing's
hunchback of
about.
Notre Dame or is it Notre Dame?
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
But we don't deal with Notre Dame.
No, you don't have anything.
Je
We
parle
don't have the
français.
budget for that.
Je parle français aussi. Et toi?
It's funny, like when we were shooting our.
No,
You
he
speak
doesn't. No,
French?
he doesn't. No,
French?
he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Don't do this. Don't do this game.
Yeah.
Don't give him any more
Don't do
room
that.
than he needs.
When we were shooting our movie, I watched that Affleck Damon movie, the one where they were in medieval France.
Met Demo?
Yeah, Demo. What's the name of that movie? You guys know it?
I know, but like Affleck has like the
Yeah,
little
he's
bangs.
the king or whatever.
The Last Kingdom.
Was that it is? Okay.
This
and
guy's a
so,
movie buff, he knows.
and so I watched that movie and like they must have spent like, $100 million like showing the building of Notre Dame, And then I thought in our movie, nah, we don't do that shit.
I like
we don't have
that.
the money for that shit. We don't have the money for that shit.
I like because
We don't show any churches or anything.
You know what it looks like.
Yeah.
You've
I mean, we
seen
don't
it
have time for that.
before.
Yeah.
You've seen Notre Dame once. You've seen it a million fucking times.
right.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, so don't worry about it.
Our church is in Glendale.
It's in Santa Clarita, is where it
Is that where you
it
guys
is.
shot
what
in
it-
California?
We shot in Santa
Interior,
Clarita. Yeah, we
yeah.
built a little French medieval village up there.
And who's got the
Santa.
best English accent, by the way?
I don't do one in this movie.
I do one.
You
do
guys,
one.
You guys,
Yeah, you
each have
guys
a
do them,
different
right?
one.
You just
we
said
do
you
'em.
did, yeah?
We do them. Yeah.
Who's better?
I don't know. Like the funny thing was like Chandrasekhar like has all these English accents that he likes, and so every day he would show up and it'd be a different one. So it would be one day it would be like the Emperor Palpatine from fucking Star Wars, right? And then the next
chain
day he's
shape,
the
yeah.
Cockney guy, and then the next day it was good.
I actually enjoyed that a lot about my scenes with Chandrasekhar. It was like not knowing which guy.
Which English guy was
But
showing
when
up?
the Emperor, when Senator Palpatine showed up, I was like, fucking yes. Here we go.
That's so good. Did you do it? Did you do it like consciously? Were you like, I'm gonna change this all the fucking time, or was it like just kind of came as the project went on? You were like, well, this is fun. Who cares?
I was just doing my best.
yeah. I like that. That's what I
Depending
like.
on what was happening, like if you're supposed to be menacing, if you're supposed to be like nice, the accent would be a different,
The Emperor Palpatine, I could tell you were because he directed it. You were uncomfortable with it a little bit.
I loved it. You
Okay,
fucking
okay,
crazy?
good.
I fucking thought it
Okay,
was
good.
great.
I didn't know. I was like,
loved it.
no. But I had to do that scene that way.
Yeah.
Because it just it called for it,
Yeah.
as the actors would say. It
That's
just
right.
called for it,
Right.
you know?
Which
I
is
had
great
to.
because it's like it's a nod to every fucking British villain you've ever seen in the movies. You know, it's
Sure.
like Palpatine, use your anger. you need some of that. You need some of that. But then every now and then you need the little eloquent thing, like, of course it is.
And sweetness and softness. Yeah. My liege.
Yeah.
All right, but when
But you were, I thought that was great. It was great.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Can you give? Is there any like fun little? Do you guys sneak in any fun little cameos? You guys got anybody?
Yeah.
That's like a fun
Do we
little
have cameos? Well,
Well,
Brian-
the whole
Brian
cast
Cox.
of
BC?
Our narrator is Brian Cox,
The fucking man.
which
Yeah.
he's done both Super Troopers movies, and that's a little teeny tidbit.
but the thing is, he did
He's rad.
Super Troopers before he did Succession. Now Succession is like
Huge.
he's fucking huge now. Like you can't, and so it was like I felt, uncomfortable contacting him. to go-
But you guys have such a history. Does it?
We do, yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. I emailed him. It was funny because I emailed him. I was like, "Give me his email address." I emailed him.
Because we're in his agents stonewalling you a
Yeah,
little
we get
bit.
stonewalled. The agents, nobody want because he's so like he's like every voiceover.
Brian
now,
fucking
he's whatever.
Cox.
And so I emailed him and it's like, hey man, we have this voiceover thing. It's gonna be like 20 minutes. If you do it, it'd be great. We'd love it. And I never heard back from him. Never heard back from him. It was like a week went by, and I was like, oh fuck, I guess I'm the asshole. And then what we found out is that he contacted his agents directly and was like, I got this email from Kevin. Whatever they want, I'm in.
Do it
And
in
I was
his
like-
voice. Do it in
And I was
his
like,
voice.
well, why? Whatever he wants, I'm in.
There we go.
And I was like, well, why don't you just fucking respond to me? Like, why? All he had to do was type that back to me, but he didn't do that. He talked to his agents.
Fuck off, Shiv.
Oh boy! And
Yeah,
so
but I
he-
think that's the way that
That's the way it works.
That's the way it works.
And so he went into a studio in Brooklyn and he did this thing. It took him like a half an hour. It was great. And now he's in our movie.
That's
which is-
fucking awesome.
And right after that, he did I'm loving it.
Yeah, he did McDonald's and then he did Virgin Atlantic.
Yeah.
all in the same
Crisp
sentence.
French fries,
That's
lightly
how we got him.
salted.
We're like, well, I'm recording this, that, and the other thing. So I'll, okay, fine,
Chicken
let's do it.
nuggets. Yeah. By the way, I don't believe in that thing that we all kind of do when they're like, well, Succession is so big and da-da-da. The agents and the managers, they do all that bullshit. They do all
Yeah.
this thing of this
Yeah.
posturing where it's like, we don't need to respond to those emails. It's like, yeah, you fucking fuck you, because we all started in this all thing together. It's like the bigger that somebody gets, it doesn't give them any more reasoning to be like, I don't talk to those people. Like, that's fucking insane. Like, so I don't like this idea that the business supports this, that's just so big. It's like, who the fuck gives a shit?
Yeah.
You're still the same guy that I liked before, unless you've drastically changed, which then fuck you a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you got richer and more people knew you. The idea was you made cool stuff with your friends and you helped each other along the way. And then as it got bigger, if you still could do stuff, if you had the time to do it, you fucking do it.
Yeah, the agents get in the way of
so
that
good
shit.
on you, Brian Cox.
Yeah, good for you, Brian
I got
Cox.
my eye on you, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay? Succession's going to end at some point, pal. Okay?
I knew you when you were... Yeah.
But I think that's what I'm impressed with you guys, truly, to go back to eating your butts again. But you guys are good friends who have made shit the whole time together and done your own shit. But, like, that's fucking incredible that you build an entire career with your friends. Super rare.
Yeah.
Super rare, super hard to do. And so kudos for, like,
Thank you.
keeping that thing going, because that's fucking incredible.
No,
I mean,
we're
I know
lucky
it's like,
to do that.
You know,
Thank you.
it's sappy bullshit, but I really think it's important. It doesn't happen much anymore.
Yeah, and it's also in the crew too. Like, we've had the same sound guy for 30 years, and we've had the same,
Well,
whatever
you do
it
need to
is,
fire that guy, by the
That
way.
guy's
There's
no
a couple of
good.
mistakes.
Yeah, the sound sucks,
We've
bro.
had the
You're
same
the only
accent
one who likes
coach.
it.
The same accent coach for 30 years. And,
Oh, that's true. He's Venezuelan. He's Venezuelan. And
That's why you keep him around.
Yeah.
He's fantastic.
Yes.
Keep those guys employed, just in case. You never know.
You got to have diversity on.
You gotta have a couple. No, I think it's impressive. I always say that they give Sandler that award, and the one thing everyone kept hammering was like, he's always working with his friends, always working with his friends.
Yeah.
And it's so true that
Good
you're
on
like,
him.
Yeah, because that's what makes it so fun. That's
Yeah.
when you see you guys working together and the stuff that I've watched over the years with you guys, you always kind of just feel that you're like, oh, dude, these cocksuckers know each other. It's great. You can kind of feel it as a fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where some movies you watch, not gonna name, and they pair people together, and you're like, these guys don't like each other. They don't even fucking know each other, and if they did, they would never want to get along with one another.
Yeah.
You can kind of see through that, the smoke. So good on you guys
Thank
for
you.
keeping that moving.
Thank you.
It's important.
Sandler.
How much more fun was this than Corolla, by the way? Fuck you, Corolla. I'm taking over,
I didn't
bitch.
even go to Corolla.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. His
We had a
car, his
good-
fancy
we-
cars.
Oh, look at all your fucking cars. Beep, beep, Adam. Suck it. Nah, he's a good egg. I
He's
love
a
him.
good
No,
guy.
he's great.
When we made Super Troopers, and we Adam Sandler invited us for like a general meeting, and we were, it's like we were new in town. And he was like, come, and we went into his office at Happy Madison. He was like, I saw your movie in the theater. I had popcorn, soda.
Can you do his accent or what?
And I thought you guys were the real deal.
I think that's Mike Tyson.
Yeah, what is that? That wasn't-
Wait. Yeah, and I thought you guys were the real deal. And I was like, I
That's
want to
Mike
punch
Tyson.
you in the face. That's Tyson?
Yeah, that's Tyson.
And then he was like,
want to do this. That's like the one thing that everybody.
I had the popcorn and the soda.
I thought Super Troopers was great. It's Super Troopers. Super Soakers? It's Super Troopers.
Stellar fella? No, Super Trooper.
So you met the cat.
But so we all went in, and he said, listen, if you guys ever need anything, come talk to me.
Money.
I'll help
Give us
you
the
out.
money,
Give
Adam.
us some of your money.
Well, so what happened, we made a movie called Club Dread, and it opened up against The Passion of the Christ. And I don't know if
Same
you,
story, by the way. It was almost the
Very
exact
similar.
same movie.
is.
Very similar.
Yeah, it is
Actually
the
is.
same movie. A little
Very
bit.
similar.
But that movie fucking crushed every movie that weekend, and that was our opening weekend. And our career was basically over after that. And that following week, Sandler called us up and said, "You need my help. Come on in." And we met again, and we pitched him Beerfest. And he walked us over, and we pitched it at Sony, and he and set it up there. Ultimately, we didn't make it with that company,
But still.
but it was a
Or
really
Sandler.
nice thing. Or Sandler.
But God bless, good on Sandler.
Yeah.
That's fucking. That
Yeah,
was.
we
It's very cool
appreciate
of
him.
him. Also, Passion of the Christ was not that good. You know what I mean? I think Club
It's
Dread
not even in English.
Sure. We've all heard that story. Everyone knows how it ends.
It's just
Fucking cross.
No surprise in that movie.
Yeah, Oh no, does a guy die? It's like the guy dies.
Come on, no shit.
Get
For-
over
we
it.
know
For
he
my
dies.
sins, whatever. I wasn't
Yeah.
even born yet.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that you guys are still fucking doing it. I think you're super fucking funny, great dudes. I'm glad you came on the show with me and took some time. I appreciate it. Go watch Quasi. It's on Hulu now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
Go watch it. Did you guys? This is after the fact, but Was there a discussion of doing like a theater release and a Hulu release? That thing?
There was, but we ended up making the deal for the movie during the pandemic.
Yeah,
and
sure.
so there was no theatrical then.
But
so
I think
it was
that's
kind of like,
Well, they're doing half and half. Like
now they're trying to bleed it back in
a little bit.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the movie I did with Amazon. Amazon was like pretty straightforward when we signed the whole thing. Was like, this is for Prime. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And then we were all like, okay, whatever, man. I just want to make the thing.
Yeah.
Let's
Whoever
just get it
sees
over with. Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
And then in the latter half of the film, there was like rumors that they were like, we might because of what's happening now in the marketplace, might throw it in for a minute and then make people go to the streaming thing, which is kind of the new standard, is being like, duck it into the theaters and pull it out.
Yeah.
So I was like, either way, I was like, I don't give a shit. I was like, just put it out into the thing. But I just see it happening now, which is kind of wild.
Yeah. Nothing to do with us. But we, I guess we have gone on. We're going to do a little like 6 or 7 city tour and do some screenings and stuff. So we'll get to see it in theaters with people.
Fuck yeah. Well, go watch it. Go watch Quasi right now. We end the episode the same way, boys.
Can I?
I
want to promote something.
Okay, go. Do it.
I'm like a little animal in the grass.
I saw you do that. Yeah.
Cobb's Comedy Club.
Go to
in
Cobb's.
San Francisco, mid-May.
When your dates, bro?
I think
you love a guy that mids the month.
15th, maybe 15th.
Yeah. You love a guy that goes, "Can I promote something? I don't know when
And
it
is."
is."
Yeah. I have a podcast
Go to the internet.
starting called Mustache Tales with Hayes MacArthur.
Love that.
Who played one of the Mounties in Super Troopers 2. And,
Yeah.
it'll be on jaychandrasekhar.com.
Go to jaychandrasekhar.com. Check out the podcast. Please go see him at Cobb's Comedy Club, San Francisco. Shout out. I love you guys. I haven't played there in a couple years, and I should go back. But in the meantime, what's this, dude? How many shows are you doing? Do you know?
5.
5 shows. The guy's got 5 shows in him, and the 5th show is the best.
It's free.
That's all I'm saying.
5th show's free,
the
guys.
best show. You guys want to plug anything else? No.
What are we plugging? We don't know. We got a new season of Tacoma FD coming up.
Tacoma's
We don't
coming
know
in
the date
July,
yet.
I think.
Yeah,
like
probably
summer.
July. Yeah. That's the same thing as us. I don't know what the date is.
It's hard to know. It is hard to know. I get that. There is a man that sent you an email
at
one
time of
point.
this, I've got I'm releasing a ready-to-drink cocktail.
What's it called?
Rhino Dart.
Rhino Dart.
Yeah, it is like it's an agave-based bubbly margarita. It's delicious.
Whoa, he looks at the Spanish guy when
And
he
it
says
gives
some
you,
bullshit like
well,
that.
because
Yeah,
he's the first. He's like, I like the sound of that.
He's sorry. I know it's gonna be good. It's
I
gonna
like
be
the
good.
sound of that.
Go get some Rhino Dart. Kev, nothing? Anything?
Nah, fuck it.
Other than
Nah, fuck you guys.
Quasi.
Quasi and
Fuck these
Tacoma
guys.
FD.
Tacoma FD, Quasi, keep watching, supporting these guys. Thank you guys so much. We end the episode the exact same way. Each of you has a camera that you should be looking in. So you would look straight forward. No, you'd look straight forward like the old days, right there. That's you. Boys, you're over there. All right?
Yeah.
You're
That's
both
not
in
a
that
dedicated camera. That's a 2-shot.
Yeah, it is a 2-shot, and I'll tell you why. We talked before, and we said, who deserves a 1, who deserves a 2?
Yeah.
Director kind of is going to get the 1.
Yeah,
you know
There
what
you
I
go,
mean?
bro.
Yeah.
This is just how it goes, dude.
Yeah.
Welcome to the biz,
What
kid.
about the lead actor in the fucking movie, bro?
Well, there it is right there.
Yeah, you got one.
Sell it.
You have to share it with your co-star.
Sell it, bro.
So we end the show the same way. You say one word or one phrase, if you don't feel like doing a word, into the camera when you're ready. So go, Kevin, and then you guys can do a word or a phrase.
But what, like anything?
Any word, any phrase you want. It's going to end the episode. It'll be embedded in history forever as the end of the Whiskey Ginger episode with the Broken Lizard Boys.
Okay, this will be.
So when you're ready, go ahead.
I'm ready. This is
Go
from our Australia trip.
Mhm.
Meat pie.
Boys,
I'm ready.
do it.
I love vodka.
Kofefe.
In here, we pour whisk, 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 whisk.
You were that creature in the ginger beard.
Sturdy and ginger.
Like vampires, the ginger gene is a curse.
Gingers are beautiful.
You owe me $5 for the whiskey and $75 for the horse.
Gingers? Oh, hell no.
This whiskey is excellent.
Ginger. I like gingers.